Good morning. This is the framework we have to work with because my tripod is in the room where my baby is napping. I am so excited. Today we're going to plant my winter garden. It's a little late in the season. It's already almost at the end of January, but it is okay. We have starts, we'll be fine. We have some pretty easy plants we're going to plant. The reason it's so late is I had a baby and it's not so easy to get out in the garden right away. Actually, at the end of my pregnancy, I took out my summer garden very early, way earlier than I needed to because I had neglected it because I was so uncomfortable. We have our tea, we have our soil, we have our worm poop, which is, by the way, this is my uncle's brand. Ugh. This is Worm Gold. Sorry, Uncle George, let me get a better shot of the logo. Worm Gold, sold at Armstrong. It's also sold on Amazon, I believe, and it is one of the first worm castings companies, so go Uncle George. This is my beautiful garden bed. I love it. Eric spent some time completely redoing it last year because we had treated wood, which isn't good for the soil, especially if you're growing an organic garden. So we replaced the wood completely with untreated wood, so there's no chemicals in it, and have these beautiful flagstones with some pebbles. It just looks so nice, and our gorgeous what's it called, honeysuckle up there. We put this piece of plywood on top because the raccoons and or squirrels were getting into our soil and digging around for the grubs. Very hot. This is the perfect day for gardening. It's only like 70 degrees and it's gorgeous out. Excuse me. I got my planter box nice and aerated and fluffed up the soil that had been sitting there for months and months. I found one grub, so hopefully there's not another infestation because that was gross. And now I'm gonna put in my soil. I use Dr. Earth. Dr. Earth is such a great brand. And Worm Gold, which is the worm castings. Our soil is looking beautiful and nice and mixed, and now we're just gonna take a gander at the little starts we've got. I'd never plant from seed. I'm not that intense about gardening. I really like planting from starts. All right, let's take a look at what we have. I have some red leaf lettuces, green leaf, tons of kale. I love having lots of kale in the garden just because it's expensive at the store and so easy to grow. Actually, it's pretty hardy. I have lots of rainbow chard, which is just so beautiful. More lettuces. What is it? I think this is a collard green, and some green onion, as well as some cilantro that I'm gonna put in that planter there. So let's set this up and plan out how we're gonna plant it. I'm just laying out the plants where I think I want to put them, and I just want to have a little chat with you guys about confidence in gardening because I feel so much more confident in gardening by myself than I ever have, and I totally get it. If you like want to garden but you're like, I don't know how, it's so hard, I don't want to ruin it, what do I even do? That's like totally normal, and I felt that same way for so long, and I still sort of feel like, I don't know what I'm doing. Like I really don't know what I'm doing. I'm just sort of putting things in, following my instincts and watering the soil with a little bit of knowledge, like more than I had before. But my point is, I guess, that you're supposed to make mistakes when you garden. Like no one gardens perfectly. Even the most seasoned gardener still kills plants. Like it's totally normal. And a garden doesn't have to look perfect. It doesn't have to be perfect. That's kind of the beauty of it, is it's just, you're just playing in the dirt and playing with Mother Nature and trying to grow something. It's pretty spectacular, and it's actually far less complicated than you probably think it is. You just don't really need to think about it too much if you don't want to. You can be calculated about how you plant your garden. My dad is that way. He is an engineer, just like my husband, so he likes to plan everything out, have it be all precise and calculated, and you can totally garden like that if you want to, but if that style intimidates you, then don't do that and just sort of like, I don't know, figure it out. I'm just kind of putting things in. There's no pressure. Like, what is going to happen to you if your plants die? Nothing. That would be a waste of money, so do your best, but it's so good for you to get out in the garden and play in the dirt some. When I'm planting my winter greens, I really like to pack it in, just because it's high yield. You just get a lot more bang for your buck. And yeah, as you can see, I'm just sort of playing around, trying to make things fit. I do have quite a lot of starts here. I get inspired when I watch someone else growing food, and I hope this inspires you and motivates you to get out in the garden with like no pressure. Stop not doing it just because you're intimidated, and that goes for life.
Yeah, we'll definitely, when we have a place to have a garden, I'll 100% have one.
It is work, but it's so
fulfilling
and fun, and we live in freaking California. Like,
we can grow anything basically.
Yeah, and we should take advantage of that.
I know, I love during the summer my dad will have just full dinners with everything from his garden.
So cool.
And it's so fun. Like, he used to do like stuffed tomatoes and
nice.
Grill that. And
he's like next level.
Yeah.
I know, I really want to teach Cosmo's garden.
That would be so cute when he's a toddler.
And because it really helps them get connected to where food comes from.
Yeah, and with homeschooling too.
Yeah, they get excited about vegetables, you know?
Yeah. I love how I've watched a few of her videos with like the kids cooking and using those little knives.
Yeah. Even though it is messy, I do have it in rows just because we have the drip system. It'll make it easier to get the watering line in. So, okay, like I know I keep saying it, but like it's not perfect. Like, just be messy, you know what I mean? Like, there's no need to, you don't have to make your garden look beautiful or be perfect, you know? So I heard an interview with Zach Bush, I think it was on the Ritual podcast, and he's like my favorite plant-based doctor. And he was like encouraging people to garden, and Ritual said something, the interviewer said something like, oh, I'm intimidated by it. And then he's like, but just let it be messy. Like, Mother Nature is messy, and just be a part of Mother Nature, and don't deny the fact that you are part of nature. And it's so important for our health and just like the world, you know, as a society to keep connecting. Do you know what I'm saying? You can respond, Jade.
Yes. I thought you were recording, so I didn't.
I am, but you can be part of the video too. It's clear someone's holding the video, so
yeah,
you don't have to pretend you're some phantom. And now I'm just going to take a little time to pick out the dead leaves. Some of the starts had some dying or dead leaves. This guy, maybe we'll be able to revive him. He looks a little sad. And yeah, it's just one of those things you should probably do because these dying leaves are sucking up energy from the plant for the healthy leaves. I had the most pleasant day today. Cosmo was so happy, my son. He's 2 months and he just loves it out here, just being out in the backyard, getting a little sunshine and nice breeze, and we had the most perfect weather. And it's just so indicative, I think, of what we need as adults as well. Like, kids are just so happy outside, and so am I. I just spent all day with my hands in the dirt and getting filthy and planting a bunch of stuff and accomplishing things. We're working on the watering system right now, and I just feel so happy, like life is good.